we're going to talk in more detail about the top triangle. Okay? And the top triangle starts from your pelvis or the middle of your body, right? And it goes out to your shoulders. Okay? So the shoulder line is the base. It's like an upside down triangle, right? Okay? And it comes down to a point. All right? Now, the top triangle, okay, the first thing is spine alignment, okay? The spine, when you're just standing there normally, okay, John's spine, everyone's spine has a natural S curve to it, okay? When you're just standing straight, okay? This is not good for training, okay, because you cannot take my force and drop it to your feet, right, in this position, okay? So we have to get rid of that S in the backbone, and how you do that is it goes back to the bottom triangle, and if you haven't seen that, you need to go back and take a look at the explanation of the bottom triangle first, okay? So what he has to do is he has to set his pelvic tilt, okay? So his pelvis has to come forward a little bit, okay, and sink, okay? Now, when he does that, his spine straightens, okay? So once the bottom triangle is set, okay, you need to set the top triangle. The key is the pelvic tilt, okay? That straightens the spine, okay? Once that's set, then you need to set the base of the neck. And the base of the neck is, you want to take it like pretend like somebody's got a piece of string in the back, okay? And he's holding the back of your neck and he's pulling on the string, lifting you up, okay? And what that's going to do is that's going to tuck his chin a little bit. And it's going to raise the back of his neck, okay, that feeling of stretching, okay? And by doing that, that straightens out his base of his neck, so that very top portion of his spine. So from base of his neck all the way down his spine, okay, is one straight line. And that straight line should end exactly at his heels, okay? So one straight line all the way down his heels. Once that's done, then your top triangle is set, okay? Now, I'm going to talk a little bit about some mistakes that people make. One is they exaggerate this top triangle, so they hunch they concave their chest, right? Which is not necessarily wrong, but their spine pushes backwards. Okay, so my body is retreating, and then I try to do everything like this. Okay? If your body forms this position, then you can't hold power. This is no good. Okay? You're going to end up relying too much on your shoulders to do everything. All right? So the spine has to be straight. Okay? So don't over-exaggerate. Okay? So then the reason why people do that is because they're trying to bring the elbow in. Okay? Always you're going to probably, your instructors, your sifus are going to be probably constantly telling you, get your elbow to the center. Get your elbow to the center, okay? And it becomes, for some people, very difficult, okay? So that's why come they do some of these exaggerated movements, okay? But when I was in the Marine Corps and I went to sniper school, okay, I learned a really important lesson, okay? And that is, they taught us, okay, first, get into a position, right? Okay? Then they tell you, okay, once you're set, you set the rifle, okay? Then hold the position, right? And then you aim the rifle to center mass, the bullseye, right? Then you close your eyes. Once you have it, okay, you take a deep breath, and then you open your eyes, okay? And if you're still on center mass, then your body position is right, okay? But when you open your eyes, if your rifle is off center, okay, then you have to make the adjustment, right? And at first, everyone tries to adjust the rifle. Okay? They adjust the rifle to get back. But when you close your eyes, your body alignment wants to bring the rifle right back to off center. Okay? So what I'm trying to say is you don't want to adjust the rifle. Okay? What they teach you in sniper school is when you open your eyes and you're off, you adjust, make little adjustments with your body. You adjust the body. Okay? Once you're center mass, you close your eyes again, you open it. Okay? If you're still on center mass, right, then you're ready to take a deep breath in and then fire. Okay? So you think of that analogy when you're doing your Wing Chun, right? Your arms are the rifle. Okay, the rifle. Okay? So your elbow is the key, right? Okay? So if I try to bring my elbow into center by forcing it into center, that's like trying to adjust the rifle, okay? Right? It's not right. What you want to do is you want to adjust the body, okay? You adjust the body. So what that means is when you're in this position, right? Okay? And your elbow, you can't get it into center, okay? What you want to do is you want to adjust the body, and how you do that is, one is bring your elbow comfortably in to center as much as you can, right? And then what you want to do is adjust the body, okay? And one way to do that is concave the chest, okay? But don't exaggerate, right? Just sink your, my instructor says swallow your chest. You swallow your chest, and when you do that, your elbow will start to fall into place, okay? Right? And then what you can do, even do more is you get old. You pretend like you want to stand and your position gets relaxed. So you want to fight like you're old, you're getting old. So you start to relax, and that drops your elbow even more to center. Okay? So what I'm doing is adjusting my body. I'm not trying to adjust the rifle. If you just try to bring your elbow in, but your body is not aligned properly, then it feels really uncomfortable. And your elbow wants to spring back out because it's not comfortable, right? So when you're trying to set the elbow in and your instructor's telling you, get your elbow to center, get your elbow to center, okay? Remember, don't try to adjust the rifle. Adjust your body. And by adjusting your body, your elbow will fall to center line. Once he's here and he has good structure, okay, and the bottom triangle is set, the top triangle is set, okay, then what he does is he wants to, his arms becomes like a wedge, okay, and we're going to talk about this in more detail in the next video that we put out. But this is your last triangle, the forward triangle, okay, but this forward triangle is like a wedge, okay, a wedge. Like a door jamb, right? I always call it the door jamb, okay? And what he wants to do is he wants to wedge it underneath my door, okay? Underneath my body, into my body, right? And wedge it, okay? And it's the body, okay? Once you have a strong wedge and you stick it into the door, right? You want to really jam it in place, and how you do that is you bring the body behind the wedge. That's like you kicking a wedge underneath the door. It squeezes the wedge in there more under the door, right? And that's what you want. Okay, so if he's moving backwards, okay, like this, it's like somebody opening the door. He can't push the door because you're wedged, right? So what does he do? The only way is he tries to open the door, right? And that means he retreats, okay? When he does that, your wedge has to keep coming forward, and your body has to keep jamming that wedge in, okay? So don't try to wedge in just by overextending and reaching, okay? Now, he has a wedge. He's following me with a wedge, but he has no body behind the movement. Now his shoulders has to do everything. He has to carry he has to do all the work. Okay? And this art is about turning the shoulders off. Okay? So, an example is like this. Okay? John's hands are up, fighting stance, right? Okay, he's in good fighting stance, right? And he comes in, right? And we crash, right? And I set the wedge. I set my wedge in there, both hands, right? Okay? Then what I want to do is I want the body, if he starts to retreat, I want to bring the body in, right? Okay? So when we're fighting, right, my wedge comes in, okay? So he punches, right? My wedge comes in. Once my wedge is in, right, okay, then I attack by using my body coming forward, right? Okay? Now, if he keeps moving backwards, right, I have to chase him with my body and keep jamming the wedge underneath his door. Right? Without overextending. Okay? Once I overextend like this, okay, he can pull me or push me because I have no more balance. Okay? No more balance. But if my wedge is set, okay, my wedge is set, and my body is holding his weight, right? Okay? And he starts to retreat. Then I chase him with my wedge, and I keep kicking the wedge under his door by using the body, right? And following him, right? That's from here. Now, if he tries to push into me, it becomes very difficult, right? And then that's when you would follow up. Right? You come in, but you have to chase him with the wedge, and you have to keep kicking your wedge under his door by using the body, which is the top triangle. Okay? I want to thank everybody for all the great feedback and the emails. A lot of you have really good questions, but right now I'm trying to keep everything basic. But basic doesn't mean easy. Okay? There's a great quote, which is they say the highest form of art is simplicity, right? And I think if you focus on what's simple, you're going to realize how difficult something so simple really is. It's not so simple when you try to perfect it, okay? So the basics is the key and the foundation of everything, okay? Which is why I talk more about concepts and principles, okay? I mean, anybody can show you a series of moves, right? But to understand how it works and why it works, okay, I think is more important, especially in the beginning stages when you need that strong foundation. Okay, so thank you for everybody for all the wonderful